Hello, Maurieo Vlogs, number 234, Yard Work. Hello, welcome. Well, I'm out with my Osmo again, and it's time for a bit of yard work. Now, I lost a bit of a video right at the start, so I had quite a big pile of timber there that I've been cutting up and putting into the wheelbarrow and carting along, and I'm going to... this is from a previous thing on the feijoa trees there behind me. So you can see they produce some quite sizable bits of timber there. So yeah, I'm cutting that one up and it's proving a little bit tricky, but yep, oh, we got it. So yeah, just put that down and I cut it up into little sizable chunks actually, and then I just burn it in my burn barrel. So if you're watching this and you're close to Narrawaya and you want a bit of firewood, let me know and I can just store it for you. And if you want to come and get it pretty smartly, quite happy for you to have it. It's well, it's all sorts of varieties of bits and pieces, but generally it'd be cut up into a good size. So you know, there, but for the old thing, but. So there we go, so we're cutting it up, chopping it, putting it in the wheelbarrow. Right, now these bits here are a bit too ornery or all over the show, so time to get the old little chainsaw out. I bought this one, it's a very small, but it's a little one-handed one, well, for most people anyway. And you can see there the little tip if you're doing that, start your chainsaw first, so that it starts first time when you're doing your thing there. Now there's Mrs. Maurieo coming through. I would have tried to edit her out, but she came through at a critical time when I was starting the chainsaw. So yeah, she didn't. But anyway, I'm sure she'll get over it. She didn't like to be out there on the YouTube channel. But anyway, there we go. So I'm chopping up all of these bits here so they're more manageable to put through the saw. Now the saw over here is just a bit of, it's a skill saw actually on a Triton. One of those handyman type tables there, so the skill saw's flipped. Well, it's a Black & Decker, no it's not a Black & Decker, I can't remember, but it's, you know, like we call them skill saws, but that's a brand name. It's actually a circular saw, and it's flipped upside down in there, and you can do all sorts of things with it. But at the moment, I've pressed it into service as a firewood saw. So that's all got up there, and then we're going to flick that back into a pile there and work our way through that pile. Now, the next sort of thing I want to do is try and trim these feijoas in at the back behind me there. They're a bit tall. Now I know there's some fruit on there for this year, but every year I've said, oh, we'll wait till the fruit goes, and it never gets done. So I've learnt that you've got to do it at the time. It's no point, you know, waiting till the right time. You've got to do it when you've got time to do it. So that's all happening there, and we're getting the wood all thing. We're almost there. I can see just a little small pile. There was quite a big pile over on the right hand side, well, my right hand side. Let me see, this side, over on this side here, quite a big pile there, and I've chopped my way through it, and now it's going to haul my pants up. The ones I think I bought them on my trip to the States. Have been bloody good actually. I bought them either at Walmart or Target for about $8. So bloody good pair of shorts actually. So now we're gonna just tidy up with the old mulching mower. And you'll remember my tip with the chainsaw. Well, it didn't work with the mower. So yeah, about 4 minutes later, next minute, there we go, and I can tip this time, whoa, we're off. The old mulching mowers are pressed into action, so it's going to tidy everything up as we pick up mulch and push and shove. It's had a bit of a hard time, but some of the other mowers I've broken in quite a few sections and gardens, and you can see that it tidies everything up pretty good, and just mulches it all in, and then it'll just work its way into the ground and tidy up. So yeah, pretty damn good really, and get that all done. So yeah, so that's tidied that up a little bit. That's only about 10% of the work that's got to be done on the property. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more time now that marking and resulting's finished at work. And so here we go. Now round to the burn barrel. Now you might have seen my previous video on my burn barrel. I think it's called My Burn Barrel Brings All the Chicks to the Yard or something like that. So this is my rubbish out of my room there. So and I think the Sue, the cleaning ladies, emptied the vacuum cleaner in there a couple of times. Now it's a pop-up sort of thing, but I suddenly discovered that there's some Velcro things there, so we'll leave that for another day. And then so we've got all that good, all burnable rubbish in there, and you can see the old pipe coming out the front, and then I've got a fan that forces a bit of air through there, and there's me big pile of wood just above the top of the fan. And so we get the old fire lighter out, and yep, we're going to do this up. Now, I've edited this. I've got about an hour or a few hours of video, but it was blooming hard editing it and getting it all together, so I really appreciate. So my vlog's probably about an hour or so late, or later than usual today, because I've been editing and doing this, and it's a little bit longer. So I hope it's, well, I don't know. I hope it's interesting, but we'll see anyway. So that's what's happening there. The fire's starting. Yep, well, she's away, so we'll put it away. When I got the fire lighter out of the shed, I knocked something on the floor. I'm sure it's something important that I'll need sometime later, but as you can see, that the shed's kept in a pretty tidy state. You just open the door and throw it in. Now, I found some old surveyor manuals, or annual surveyors there that I decided I'd throw out because there's probably a digital record of them should I need everything. So I've been had them in there and putting them in the fire progressively. Now here you'll see I'm working through, and hello, I find the 1988 Centennial version, the Centennial copy, 1988 it is. And so I'll put that down there on the chair. I'm going to have a look at that before I might want to keep it. Who knows? So we get that in there and get back to the old chair. The smoke gets in your eyes, carry on and sit down and just have a flick through that and find out that yes, I won a prize in 1979. My name is in there for all posterity. I'm sure hundreds of people read it. Anyway, interestingly enough, the prize was called the Morris Compton Smith Prize. Smith Prize. I don't know whether I won it just because my name was Morris, but anyway, that's another story. So no, we're not going to keep that. Get rid of it. Yeah, my lovely wife will be very pleased about that. So let's get out me hook. And give things a bit of a rack up, as we say. Get it all going, and there you go. She's bloody beauty. And the forced air going in there, it'll burn through that pile of stuff there in next to no time. Maybe, about an hour, 2 hours, and that's all gone. It's bloody hot putting the stuff in there over the top. You don't stay over the top for too long, and as you can see, it gets down to a pretty smokeless sort of exercise. So yeah, that's pretty much my day in the yard there really, getting it all done, and as you can see it's all finished up. So that brings us to today's background. Now I'm sure you'll all know this one. It's pretty easy, but well, this guy started out as a fire eater. That was one of his early jobs, as a fire eater. So there's your clue, but I think there's so many other clues in there that it's not going to take too long. So I'm expecting an answer pretty quick. Now, yesterday's one was this guy here, Peter Plumley Walker. So the topic was plums. Peter is a cricket umpire who died during a session with his dominatrix, and it was a big sort of trial over here. Eventually, I think the dominatrix was spent a little bit of time for trying to conceal a crime, but filled the newspapers, sold a lot of newspapers here. So Peter Plumley Walker, and WT managed to get that one in next to no time. So that brings us back to today's, to the background. So if you like what you see, subscribe, share with your mates. So try and see if you can get some sort of competition going to see if you're the first one to get the answer to the day's question, and you can use that as bragging rights or that type of thing. So yeah, like and subscribe if you like it. Like it if you want to subscribe and see more. I'll try to get a few more out and about type videos, but it takes a fair bit of time, editing and what have you. So that's going to depend on the time that I've got available. All good. Cheers. See you tomorrow. I'll be trimming those feed jars behind me, hopefully. Cheers. See you.